Donald Trump's got just a couple of days left to be president, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have big plans. He wants to go out in his favorite style, people clapping for him. He's a simple man with simple pleasures. President Donald Trump's aides are putting together plans for him to enjoy the adoration of his supporters one last time before he leaves office on the day of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Trump reportedly expects a big spectacle with a crowd of his fans when he finally exits the White House for good. The president wants the send-off to be held military style, according to CNN. I always assumed his exit from the White House would be done military style. But anyway, so I get it. He wants to have a crowd of his fans to send him off. My question is, can he have a crowd of his fans, fans send him off? Because here's a map of DC right now. And what you're seeing in this map are the new green and red zones that have had to be set up by the tens of thousands of National Guard soldiers that are there. It is literally in DC, there's a Baghdad style green zone with National Guard checking people's reasons for entry. And the green zone, by the way, you can only go into for like local business or whatever. The red zone is a no-go zone. So guys, I don't even know if he can have that exit that he wants because of the chaos that he wrought last week.
John, I don't understand what you're complaining about. Are you suggesting that there's anything wrong with Iraq and that things didn't turn out well? Because I heard they have a democracy there now. And as for whether or not his supporters will be able to send him off, you would have to look at the National Guard and see how many of them support him. Maybe they do, and it'll be fine then. That might, I mean, it depends on which of his supporters he's talking about, whether that's law enforcement or the actual just ordinary civilians.
It's almost too on the nose. Like he's leaving the way he came in. Presumably he would astroturf some sort of ceremony. Like he would pay people to perform, as he did when he started his campaign. He paid people to show up for his first rally as he descended the golden escalator. And it's just like he's going in the way he came out, right? Or vice versa, right? He's going out the way he came in. And I think if you were to do it in DC, that's the likely outcome, because this is a city that 90-some% voted for Biden, and in 2016, 92% voted for Hillary. There aren't a ton of native Trump supporters that live here, other than maybe like the transient Hill staffer. And I would imagine they've probably identified it's not the most prudent thing to glom onto him on his way out after everything that they endured last week. So he would have to astroturf some ceremony. That said, more than anything, I want them to give him a just blank canvas. Do whatever you want, sir. Rip off the shirt, show the Superman logo. Let's bring that idea back. Everything is on the table. I want to see Trump in his element on the way out, because it could only be, it's comedy gold. This is a guy who is so in denial that that's what he inspired last week. He can't comprehend that he lost, and that his life has severely diminished because of how vile he was for 4 years. So go do what you want, please. You are the creative director, Trump.
It's like a pet dog who's final week before you're putting him down. You just go crazy, have whatever you want. Treats every day. But I don't know if
ice cream.
But yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Lindsey Graham he was touting a schedule he had for Trump in the last few days. I wonder if part of this is a sort of, if we keep him busy with this sort of stuff, then hopefully he won't do something worse. Because Graham was talking about, I had a whole itinerary for the president. We're going to keep him busy, McConnell. You don't have to worry about him going off the rails like he did last week. So this might just be them trying to keep him occupied in the final moments.
Maybe in event planning, that's possible. And the image we've sketched, and the one that seems more likely, is that this would happen at the White House. But apparently they're considering Palm Beach International Airport in Florida to greet him in Florida once he gets there. Trump is apparently unhappy with the idea of having to ask Biden for permission to use Air Force One for his departure. Just love that. He never calls him to concede, but he calls him to ask if he can use the plane.
It's a weird break from his traditional branding. Like he's pivoting back into private life, where he's going to presumably try to use his name and most recent time in the White House as leverage for new business developments. Why wouldn't you want to fly in on the Trump branded plane? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The thing that doesn't make much sense to me, and not because it's not somewhat consistent with the way he's approached being president, but whether he thinks that he won or not, and it seems like he really does believe it. It seems like it, or at least he's saying it so much to try to believe it. He does seem to have accepted that he's leaving, unless his plot with the pillow guy works. But assuming the plot with the pillow guy doesn't work, he's gonna go. So he's got less than a week to be president. And I don't know if you guys saw, but his last 2 itineraries, whatever Graham says, fine. But the official one that's put out that he apparently dictated was Donald Trump will work from very early until very late, and he will have many calls and he will do many meetings. That's literally what his schedule was.
So he's watching TV.
But really, and look, I know many people watching this are probably like, ha, they like to laugh about how he doesn't do anything. And that is 100% true. That's been most of my life for 4 years. But he's president still. He's not gonna be president in a week. And he apparently has nothing that he wants to do with it. No last dips into the National Classified Archives to find out secret stuff about aliens or nothing. Nope. Like he wants to be president so bad that he came that close to a violent overthrow of our government, but he doesn't want to be president. He just wants to not be president, it seems like.
Well, like I was saying before, this is something that makes me want to like him because it's like the Office Space thing. What would you do if you could do anything? It's just nothing. I'd want to do absolutely nothing for an entire week. And that's what he is. That's where we're at.
That said, I'm fine with it. And I as we laugh, and I doubt he's watching this, but everyone around him, I hope is just kind of encouraging this behavior. Yeah, you're really busy, sir. Because at the same time, Pompeo's running around with the head of Mossad,
right?
It's very clearly planning an attack on Iran. Keep him distracted. Keep him watching TV, please. We do not need a war with Iran.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if they launched it in the last few days? Jesus, we got lucky earlier this year. That's one of the few silver linings of the pandemic is that it lowered the tensions between the US and Iran, because people forget that this last year wasn't just the pandemic, it was the impeachment, and it was also we came that close to war. Everybody seems to have moved on.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat, emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.